HESI A2 Anatomy and Physiology Most Tested Topics. Question 1. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It triggers ovulation and supports sex-hormone production, and it is released by the anterior pituitary. Which option identifies the hormone? Option A, epinephrine. Option B, luteinizing hormone. Option C, secretin. Option D, vitamin D active form. The correct answer is option B, luteinizing hormone. The role tested here involves regulating reproductive function. This hormone triggers ovulation and supports sex-hormone production. It can also be identified because it is released by the anterior pituitary. Question 2. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It delivers fat-digestion products to the intestinal brush border, and it is formed with bile salts in the small intestinal lumen. Which option identifies the particle? Option A, central chemoreceptor. Option B, crossing over. Option C, medial. Option D, micelle. The correct answer is option D, micelle. The role tested here involves supporting lipid absorption. This particle delivers fat-digestion products to the intestinal brush border. It can also be identified because it is formed with bile salts in the small intestinal lumen. Question 3. A student is reviewing a concept involved in forming the terminal vertebral column. Which option identifies the bone with this function, provides attachment for pelvic floor structures? Option A, coccyx. Option B, radius. Option C, talus. Option D, carpals. The correct answer is option A, coccyx. The role tested here involves forming the terminal vertebral column. This bone provides attachment for pelvic floor structures. It can also be identified because it consists of small fused vertebral remnants. Stressed about your GED? We can take GED for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Which option identifies the respiratory structure best matching this description? It forms the inferior portion of the pharynx, and it directs air toward the larynx and food toward the esophagus. Option A, type I alveolar cell. Option B, larynx. Option C, type 2 alveolar cell. Option D, a laryngopharynx. The correct answer is option D, laryngopharynx. For separating respiratory and digestive routes, this respiratory structure directs air toward the larynx and food toward the esophagus. It can also be recognized because it forms the inferior portion of the pharynx. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 5. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It indicates a point farther from the trunk or origin of a limb, and it is commonly paired with a term meaning nearer the point of attachment. Which option identifies the directional term? Option A, proximal. Option B, ipsilateral. Option C, distal. Option D, medial. The correct answer is option C, distal. The role tested here involves describing the fingers relative to the elbow. This directional term indicates a point farther from the trunk or origin of a limb. It can also be identified because it is commonly paired with a term meaning nearer the point of attachment. Question 6. A physiology item gives 2 clues. It collects most venous blood from the myocardium, and it empties into the right atrium. Which option identifies the cardiac structure? Option A, myocardium. Option B, coronary sinus. Option C, interventricular septum. Option D, coronary artery. The correct answer is option B, coronary sinus. The role tested here involves returning blood from the heart wall. This cardiac structure collects most venous blood from the myocardium. It can also be identified because it empties into the right atrium. Question 7. Which option identifies the reproductive structure most important for protecting the male reproductive passage because it releases lubricating alkaline mucus before ejaculation? Option A, bulbourethral gland. Option B, sperm midpiece. Option C, prostate gland. Option D, acrosome. The correct answer is option A, bulbourethral gland. A key clue is that this reproductive structure empties into the urethra. It also releases lubricating alkaline mucus before ejaculation. That combination is central to protecting the male reproductive passage. Question 8. Which option identifies the structure associated with controlling light entry in both clues? It regulates pupil diameter, and it contains smooth muscle and gives the eye its visible color. Option A, autonomic nervous system. Option B, virus. Option C, parietal lobe. Option D, ciliary muscle. The correct answer is option B, iris. The function described is that this structure regulates pupil diameter. A second identifying feature is that it contains smooth muscle and gives the eye its visible color. Together, the two clues explain the role in controlling light entry. Are you looking for Get actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access GED study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get GED answer key today. Question 9. Which option identifies the skeletal structure or regulator most directly associated with supporting communication within an osteon, and this function allows tiny cytoplasmic connections between bone cells? Option A, canaliculus. Option B, central canal. Option C, perforating canal. Option D, osteon. The correct answer is option A, canaliculus. This skeletal structure or regulator participates in supporting communication within an osteon. It allows tiny cytoplasmic connections between bone cells, and it permits nutrient and waste exchange through mineralized matrix. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 10. A learner connects the clues, exchanges gases, nutrients, and wastes between maternal and fetal circulations, and also produces hormones that support pregnancy. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, fatty acid absorption. Option B, set point. Option C, luteal phase. Option D, placenta. The correct answer is option D, placenta. The function described is that this process exchanges gases, nutrients, and wastes between maternal and fetal circulations. A second identifying feature is that it also produces hormones that support pregnancy. Together, the two clues explain the role in sustaining fetal development. Question 11. A physiology item gives two clues. It regulates smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and glands, and it operates mainly without conscious control. Which option identifies the structure? Option A, sympathetic division. Option B, autonomic nervous system. Option C, iris. Option D, Broca area. The correct answer is option B, autonomic nervous system. The role tested here involves maintaining internal organ function. This structure regulates smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and glands. It can also be identified because it operates mainly without conscious control. Question 12. Which option identifies the cardiac structure best matching this description? It has two cusps supported by chordae tendineae, and it prevents backflow from the left ventricle into the left atrium. Option A, chordae tendineae. Option B, mitral valve. Option C, pulmonary vein. Option D, epicardium. The correct answer is option B, mitral valve. For directing blood through the left atrioventricular opening, this cardiac structure prevents backflow from the left ventricle into the left atrium. It can also be recognized because it has two cusps supported by chordae tendineae. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 13. A student is reviewing a concept involved in changing thoracic dimensions. Which option identifies the muscles with this function? Move the ribs during breathing? Option A, intercostal muscles. Option B, erector spinae. Option C, brachialis. Option D, masseter. The correct answer is option A, intercostal muscles. The role tested here involves changing thoracic dimensions. These muscles move the ribs during breathing. They can also be identified because they occupy the spaces between adjacent ribs. Question 14. Which option identifies the position best matching this description? It keeps left and right based on the subject rather than the observer, and it standardizes body descriptions with the body upright, face forward, and palms facing forward. Option A, anatomical position. Option B, left lateral recumbent position. Option C, supine position. Option D, right lateral recumbent position. The correct answer is option A, anatomical position. For communicating anatomical relationships consistently, this position standardizes body descriptions with the body upright, face forward, and palms facing forward. It can also be recognized because it keeps left and right based on the subject rather than the observer. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 15. A review item describes a structure that allows time for ventricular filling after atrial contraction. Which option identifies it? Option A, infundibulum. Option B, ventral root. Option C, atrioventricular node. Option D, cornea. The correct answer is option C, atrioventricular node. For coordinating chamber contraction, this structure delays the impulse before it reaches the ventricles. It can also be recognized because it allows time for ventricular filling after atrial contraction. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 16. Which option identifies the structure associated with supporting posture during a painful stimulus? And both clues: it extends the opposite limb during a withdrawal response, and it helps maintain balance while one side pulls away. Option A, dorsal root ganglion. Option B, tooth. Option C, thalamus. Option D, crossed extensor reflex. The correct answer is option D, crossed extensor reflex. The function described is that this structure extends the opposite limb during a withdrawal response. A second identifying feature is that it helps maintain balance while one side pulls away. Together, the two clues explain the role in supporting posture during a painful stimulus. Question 17. A student is reviewing a concept involved in producing contractile force. Which option identifies the muscle structure or process with this function, forms a single elongated skeletal muscle cell? Option A, smooth muscle tissue. Option B, cardiac muscle tissue. Option C, muscle fiber. Option D, the acetylcholine. The correct answer is option C, muscle fiber. The role tested here involves producing contractile force. This muscle structure or process forms a single elongated skeletal muscle cell. It can also be identified because it contains many myofibrils and nuclei. Question 18. Which option identifies the cavity associated with locating organs above the muscular partition used in breathing? And both clues: it contains the lungs and mediastinal structures, and it is separated from the abdominal cavity by the diaphragm. Option A, thoracic cavity. Option B, pericardial cavity. Option C, abdominopelvic cavity. Option D, mediastinum. The correct answer is option A, thoracic cavity. The function described is that this cavity contains the lungs and mediastinal structures. A second identifying feature is that it is separated from the abdominal cavity by the diaphragm. Together, the two clues explain the role in locating organs above the muscular partition used in breathing. Stressed about your HESI A2? We can take HESI A2 for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A learner connects the clues, engulfs and digests microbes or debris, and includes neutrophils and macrophages. Which option best matches both clues? Option A, dendritic cell. Option B, pancreatic beta cell. Option C, phagocyte. Option D, parietal cell. The correct answer is option C, phagocyte. The function described is that this cell engulfs and digests microbes or debris. A second identifying feature is that it includes neutrophils and macrophages. Together, the two clues explain the role in providing innate cellular defense. Question 20. Which option identifies the urinary structure most directly associated with producing urine? And this function forms the functional unit that filters and modifies fluid? Option A, urinary bladder. Option B, renal pyramid. Option C, nephron. Option D, distal convoluted tubule. The correct answer is option C, nephron. This urinary structure participates in producing urine. It forms the functional unit that filters and modifies fluid, and it includes a renal corpuscle and tubule. Those details distinguish the tested concept from related choices. Question 21. A review item describes a process that uses localized alternating contractions. Which option identifies it? Option A, segmentation. Option B, receptor. Option C, cytokinesis. Option D, medullary respiratory center. The correct answer is option A, segmentation. For improving contact with digestive surfaces, this process mixes intestinal contents without strong net forward movement. It can also be recognized because it uses localized alternating contractions. The remaining choices have different primary functions or locations. Question 22. Which option identifies the process whose key function is, keeps circulating fuel within a useful range? Option A, respiratory alkalosis. Option B, blood glucose regulation. Option C, hematopoiesis. Option D, water absorption. The correct answer is option B, blood glucose regulation. This process keeps circulating fuel within a useful range. It relies mainly on opposing pancreatic hormones. These linked features explain the role in preventing excessive rises or falls after meals and fasting. Question 23. Which option identifies the region most important for using the 9-region abdominal method because it lies beneath the left costal cartilages? Option A, left iliac region. Option B, hypogastric region. Option C, body of stomach. Option D, left hypochondriac region. The correct answer is option D, left hypochondriac region. A key clue is that this region contains the spleen and part of the stomach. It also lies beneath the left costal cartilages. That combination is central to using the 9-region abdominal method. Question 24. Which option identifies the muscle structure or process whose key function is, stores and releases calcium inside a muscle fiber? Option A, motor unit. Option B, the acetylcholine. Option C, sarcoplasmic reticulum. Option D, muscle fascicle. The correct answer is option C, sarcoplasmic reticulum. This muscle structure or process stores and releases calcium inside a muscle fiber. It surrounds myofibrils as a specialized smooth endoplasmic reticulum. These linked features explain the role in controlling contraction and relaxation. Question 25. Which option identifies the process associated with ensuring translation accuracy in both clues? It consists of 3 transfer RNA bases complementary to a messenger RNA codon, and it helps place the correct amino acid in a growing chain. Option A, bone remodeling. Option B, positive feedback. Option C, renal bicarbonate reabsorption. Option D, anticodon. The correct answer is option D, anticodon. The function described is that this process consists of 3 transfer RNA bases complementary to a messenger RNA codon. A second identifying feature is that it helps place the correct amino acid in a growing chain. Together, the 2 clues explain the role in ensuring translation accuracy.